Today is the 17th of June, and I realized one thing. I've overdone it with the garden this year. I guess it's to compensate for previous years when things did not go right. But as far as the potatoes are concerned, I think I did fine with the potatoes. Okay, take a look. Okay, the bald spots, such as here, are areas where I sampled, like that one as well, are areas where I sampled the potatoes to see, check their readiness. Okay, those potatoes right there, yeah, I'm one arm bandit because I had carpal tunnel surgery. These two rows here, they seem to be on the dying side. These were the original rows of potatoes that I planted, and these have done well, um, and their time is coming to an end. Where I've messed up at is with the squashes. Okay, the squashes. I mean, you can look at these here. That's beets right here. I've got melons. I've got cabbages. I've got beans. I've got I got a bunch of stuff here. See, this is I think it's Chinese cabbage. These are Japanese melons. I've got long string beans. I got everything too close together. I mean, you can look at that going all the way down this aisle here. And these here, these are the Italian zucchinis that grow to be about 3 feet long, but they also produce some very broad leaves. And as you can see down below here, I've got a bean there, okay, that should be doing much better, should be somewhat similar to this here, this bean here, but they're not doing well for the simple reason that they're too crowded in. So that means that next year I have to rethink things because things are just too crowded. Okay. See, again, too crowded. The vines are sticking out 3 feet from there. All that means is that you see all these little zucchinis here. That means that I'm going to be eating a lot of mini zucchinis as well as some stuff that's more mature. I've got zucchinis planted everywhere. The corn seems to be doing a little bit better than previous years. Well, last year was the previous year. Down here, I got watermelons. Whatchamacallem? Here's one. This is not a watermelon. It's a, how you say, cantaloupe. I got watermelons, cantaloupe, and all those other type of things here. If you look over here, oh, check this out. This is the first blackberry, and it looks like it's longer than the tip of my thumb. See, look at this. This is huge. This thing here, I can't lift this squash up, but as you can see, the vine has multiple squashes growing on it. But again, it's not just one squash. I've overplanted. I planted too many. See, like over here. Let me see if I can back out a little bit more. Nope, that's as far as I can back out. Again, I've got too much stuff growing within too close proximity to each other. You see what I'm saying? I've got too much growing around my blueberries. See, I got beets as well as squash plants. Okay, pink. This is pink blueberry. Won't be ready till later in the season. But I've got beets growing on the bottom. The beets are fine, but it's stuff like the watermelon I need to make sure that I'm more conscious of for next year. Under this apple tree here, I've got leeks, comfrey, tomatoes. I think this setup is fine, but I think it's when I have everything too close together. Okay, as you can see here, again, beets, comfrey, tomatoes, got squashes, leeks. Okay, see, this is another one. This is around a single blueberry bush that's not doing too good. I probably need to trim some of the leaves from around it to give it more space. Again, I think planting stuff or surrounding is not a problem. Okay, as long as it's not like this one where the plant is being covered up by the surrounding plants. For example, like this one here, like this here, this pink blueberry, having the stuff growing around it like that is not a problem. It's when, again, when the proximities are too close, when they're too close together. Okay, you see that? There's too much. I got blackberries here that should be open and trying to get some more sun, but they can't. Okay, because I've overdone it. Look at this here. Wow, look at that. finger hurt. I can't stretch out to do it, to measure it with my pinky. You see that? I mean, they're trying to overcome. I've been trying to keep them on the lines, but the fruit is too heavy. Look at the size of this sucker. You see what I'm saying? It is too heavy. It's weighing down the line. Okay, I'm going to pause and go to the Savior's Garden real quick. Okay, see, these are fine here. Okay, these are fine here. Blackberry. Blackberry. Okay, this is grape. So I got a few grapes on it, not too many. Animals, whatever, ate the other ones. See, this is an apple. I got tomatoes, I got squash, I got leeks growing around it. The reason leeks are like that is I harvest them periodically. I harvest the tops. Blackberry with leeks. That's a lilac. More corn over here. But as you can see, I'm not gonna go all the way in. Okay, I've got okra. I got some okra plants here, tomatoes, corn. Well, this is whatchamacallit, lamb quarters. But again, more of the same. See, more of the same Italian zucchini here. They're gonna get out of hand, and I gotta eat them all. And all these here are whatchamacallit, how they called artichokes. And see, lots of tomatoes. And again, these are the squashes. As you can see, there are, I don't know if you can see well enough, but there are squashes under all of these squash plants. Under all of them, there are squashes growing underneath. I've harvested some real big stuff, and there's not enough room. There's not enough room. I overdid it, okay? I overdid it. The initial goal was to try to produce at least the same number of, what is that, of squashes that I produced last year. The variety will come to me later. And that variety, as well as the acorn squash and butternut squash. Butternut squash last year I produced about 50 some odd, I think it was around 50 some odd squashes. I was trying to do the same thing because the last of the butternut squash is still here, and we're not going to eat it. It's a small one, but nonetheless, we had enough butternut squash to get us through, I think, February, March, maybe even April of this year. So I was trying to do the same thing, and this time to have more variety. And in my zealousness, I overdid it. Okay, I do not. I make sure. Just make sure that you just spread everything out. Yeah, just make sure you spread everything out so that things are not overcrowded. I need to. What I did out here on the garden, what I did in the Savior's Garden, actually, about 2 weeks ago, I went through and I trimmed out some of the leaves closer to the bottom, to the base of the plant, so that sunlight and bugs can see the leaves. Can see the flowers, because I need to make sure things got pollinated. But I'm going to need to do the same thing, and I can't do it too soon unless I try to do a left-handed banded thing. So anyway, that's where I'm at. I have too many squashes. Well, too many plants in too close of proximity to each other. This squash here that you're looking at, okay, that thing is about 1 foot long. I got another one on the deck. I've got the pan squashes. They're about 6, 7, maybe 8 inches wide right now. And that's not how they're supposed to be. Okay, you're supposed to eat them when they're somewhat smaller. So anyway, in my overzealousness, I overdid it. I overplanted. And I got to give a lot of stuff away. All right, y'all, take care.